Have you ever cracked an egg into a pan, just like you've done for decades, and thought, am I even doing this right? Maybe you've heard eggs are a superfood, packed with protein, vitamins, and that good cholesterol. But what if I told you that the way you've been cooking them for years might be stripping away their benefits, or even making them risky? Friends, eggs are one of nature's most perfect foods if we handle them right. But as we age, our bodies change. What once worked for us might now be quietly causing harm. Today, we're going to uncover the top mistakes that turn eggs from a health boost into a hidden hazard. Some of these might surprise you, especially if you've been making eggs the same way since your 40s. But don't worry, fixing them is simpler than you think. Let's start with the first mistake so many of us make without even realizing it. Let's talk about overcooking. Now, I know what you're thinking, but crispy fried eggs taste better. And you're not wrong. That golden brown edge? Delicious. But here's the catch. When we cook eggs at high heat until they're rubbery or browned, we're creating something called oxidized cholesterol. Think of it like this. Imagine leaving a sliced apple out too long. It turns brown, right? That's oxidation. And it happens to eggs too when they're overcooked. Over time, that oxidized cholesterol can inflame your arteries, making them stiffer and narrower. For seniors, that's a big deal. Our hearts already work harder as we age. Why give them extra trouble? Take my neighbor, Helen. At 76, she'd fry her eggs until they were crispy every morning. "They're just egg," she'd say. But after years of fatigue and rising blood pressure, her doctor traced it back to chronic inflammation. She switched to soft scrambled eggs cooked on low heat, and within months, her energy bounced back. Here's the fix: gentle heat wins. Try poaching, soft boiling, or scrambling eggs slowly on low. Your goal? Creamy yolks, tender whites, no more burnt flavors. And if you love fried eggs, use a non-stick pan with a lid. Steam them gently instead of crisping them. Your heart and taste buds will thank you. Now let's tackle a mistake that's so common. Even I used to do it. Eating raw or undercooked eggs. Maybe you lick the spoon after mixing cookie dough, or blend a raw egg into your morning smoothie for extra protein. Sounds harmless, right? But here's the truth. Raw eggs can harbor salmonella, a nasty bacteria that's risky for anyone, but especially for seniors. As we age, our immune systems slow down. What might give a younger person a tummy ache could land us in the hospital. Take Margaret. She's 68 and swore by her raw egg smoothies for years, until one landed her in the ER with severe dehydration. "I never thought eggs could do that," she said. Now, she soft boils them instead and still gets all the nutrients safely. And there's another hidden issue. Raw eggs contain a protein called avidin that blocks your body from absorbing biotin, a vitamin crucial for healthy hair, skin, and nails. Cooking eggs neutralizes avidin, unlocking all that goodness. So what's the fix? Cook eggs fully. No runny yolks unless they're pasteurized. Love Caesar dressing or mayo? Buy store-made versions. They use pasteurized eggs. It's a small shift that keeps the flavor and protects your health. Now, I know change isn't easy, especially when it comes to lifelong habits. But here's the beauty. These fixes take seconds, not hours. Lower the heat, skip the raw batter, tiny tweaks that add up to big protection for your body. And guess what? We're just getting started. In the next part, we'll tackle 2 more egg mistakes you might be making, like how you're storing them and why that carton in your fridge could be a ticking time bomb. Plus, I'll share a simple float test to check if your eggs are fresh. No expiration dates needed. But before we move on, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever had a food scare with eggs or found a cooking trick that works wonders? Drop a comment below. Your story could help someone else stay safe. And if you're finding this helpful, hit subscribe. Let's keep building a community where we age smart, not just old. Let's open your fridge for a second. Picture this. You've just made a big batch of scrambled eggs for the week. Easy breakfast, right? You pop the leftovers in a bowl, cover it with a plate, and tuck it on the top shelf. Sounds harmless. But what if I told you that simple habit could turn your meal into a playground for bacteria? Friends, how we store eggs matters just as much as how we cook them. And this isn't about being a perfectionist. It's about protecting yourself from sneaky risks that hit harder after 60. Let's start with a mistake so common, Even my own mom used to make it, leaving cooked eggs out too long. I get it. Life happens. You make breakfast, get distracted by a phone call, and suddenly those scrambled eggs have been sitting out for 2 hours. But here's the scary part. Bacteria like Salmonella and E. coli double every 20 minutes in room temperature eggs. For seniors, a foodborne illness isn't just a bad day. It can lead to dehydration, hospital stays, or worse. Take George, a 72-year-old who meal prepped hard-boiled eggs every Sunday. He'd leave them peeled and piled in a bowl on the counter for quick snacks. "They're cooked. What's the harm?" he'd say. Until one week, he ended up with violent stomach cramps and a 3-day hospital stay. Turns out, those eggs had been festering bacteria at room temperature for hours. Now, he stores them in sealed containers in the fridge and hasn't had a single issue since. Here's the fix. Refrigerate cooked eggs within 2 hours, 1 hour if it's hot out. Use airtight containers, not loosely covered bowls, to lock out moisture and germs. And don't forget, leftovers should be eaten within 3 to 4 days. Yes, even that frittata you love. Now let's talk about a mistake you might not even see: using cracked or expired eggs. That tiny hairline fracture in the shell? Or the carton you've had in the fridge for a month? They're not just a little old, they're ticking time bombs. Bacteria can sneak through even microscopic cracks in the shell. And expired eggs? They might look fine, but their protective coating wears down over time, letting germs invade. My friend Evelyn learned this the hard way. At 74, she used a slightly cracked egg to bake a cake. No big deal, right? But the next day, she was bedridden with fever and diarrhea. "I thought only raw chicken was dangerous," she said. Now she does the float test every time. Drop an egg in water. Fresh eggs sink. Expired ones float. Try it. It's a game changer. And here's a pro tip. Store eggs in the fridge's main compartment, not the door. Every time you open the door, temperature swings weaken the egg's defenses. Keep them in their original carton too. It prevents odors from seeping in. Now let's tackle reheating, because how you warm up leftovers matters more than you think. Microwaving eggs can turn them rubbery and dry, but worse, it creates hot spots where bacteria survive. Instead, reheat gently on the stove. Add a splash of broth or water to keep them moist. If you must use the microwave, stir every 15 seconds to spread the heat evenly. Remember, your goal is to kill any lingering germs without nuking the nutrients. And if something smells off, toss it. No meal is worth a trip to the ER. These fixes aren't about fear, they're about freedom. Freedom to enjoy eggs without worry. Freedom to feel strong and energized. And we're almost done. In the final part, we'll tackle the last big mistake: cooking eggs with the wrong oils, a habit that could be inflaming your joints and arteries without you even knowing. Plus, I'll share my favorite heart-healthy oil swap that takes 10 seconds and costs pennies. But first, I'd love to hear, have you ever done the float test or found a storage hack that works? Share below. Your tips might save someone's day. And if you're finding this helpful, hit that like button. It lets me know to keep making videos that help you thrive, not just survive. Let's talk about something we've all done for years without a second thought: pouring oil into a pan to fry eggs. Maybe it's that bottle of vegetable oil you've had since the 90s, or margarine because you heard it's healthier. But what if I told you that the oil you're using could be undoing all the good those eggs are meant to do? Friends, the wrong cooking oil doesn't just add calories. It can turn your breakfast into a source of inflammation, stiff joints, and even memory fog. And here's the kicker. Most of us don't realize we're making this mistake until years of damage have piled up. Let's fix that today. Using processed vegetable oils like soybean, corn, or canola is like pouring gasoline on a tiny fire. These oils break down at high heat, creating harmful compounds called free radicals. Think of them as little troublemakers that damage your cells, speed up aging, and inflame your arteries. For seniors, that's a triple threat: joint pain, heart strain, and brain fog. Take Frank, a 78-year-old who fried his eggs in vegetable oil every morning. "It's just how my mom taught me," he'd say. But after years of creaky knees and rising cholesterol, his doctor traced it back to chronic inflammation. Frank switched to grass-fed butter, yes, butter, and within months his joints felt looser and his energy sharper. Tastes better too, he laughs. Here's the fix. Choose stable fats. Butter, ghee, coconut oil, or olive oil handle heat better and fight inflammation. Avocado oil's another winner for high-heat cooking. And if you're thinking, but isn't butter bad for cholesterol? New research shows natural fats in moderation support brain health, especially after 60. Now let's put this into action. Tomorrow morning, try this. Melt a pat of butter on low heat, crack in your eggs and let them cook slowly. No smoke, no splatter. Just creamy golden yolks. Taste the difference? That's your body thanking you. And here's a bonus. These oils add flavor and nutrients. Olive oil's packed with antioxidants that protect your heart. Coconut oil's medium-chain fats fuel your brain. It's not just cooking, it's medicine. Let's tie this all together. Eggs aren't just food, they're a daily choice to honor the body that's carried you through decades. Overcooking, eating them raw, sloppy storage, using expired eggs or toxic oils. These mistakes creep up quietly, but the fixes? They're simple. Cook gently, store wisely, choose fresh, use good fats. Tiny shifts that add years to your life and life to your years. My grandfather lived to 94. Every morning, he'd soft-boil 2 eggs, eat them with a sprinkle of salt, and say, "This is my golden ticket." I didn't get it then, but now I do. He wasn't just eating, he was investing in his heart, his mind, his joy. You deserve that same gift. If you take one thing from this series, let it be this. Aging isn't about loss, it's about refinement. Like a good recipe, tweak the steps and the results transform. Now, I'd love to hear your story. Did you switch oils? Try the float test? Share below. Your journey inspires others. And if this helped you, pay it forward. Share this video with a friend. Together, let's rewrite what it means to grow older. Strong, savvy, and full of flavor. Hit subscribe if you haven't yet. More tips like this are on the way. Thank you for trusting me with your time. Now go crack some eggs. The right way. Here's to your health. If this resonated with you, hit like and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss our next video. Until then, keep cherishing every moment. Here's to better health, stronger legs, and a life full of movement. See you in the next video.